Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? That is the question. Hi, I'm Valerie and welcome to my channel on Major League Manifesting to help you live a divine life. Like, subscribe to be notified of my new videos and share to keep this channel growing. Since being happy means not clinging like gorilla glue to being right, because hey, right is might, right? Maybe you are most happy when you're right, but that really is limiting your options. Being right comes from your reality. It may not mesh with someone else's reality. There could be 100 bazillion kinds of right. I mean, look at how your Starbucks barista has to get your order exactly right for you. And same for all the other guests. So their drink is their version of right, and yours maybe not so much. It's meh, or even yuck. It doesn't mean that their right is better or that your right is better. It's just a different flavor of right. And right can change depending on your mood, your state of your health, the time of day, and all kinds of other variables. So right is not a constant. It itself is a variable. And it's like the way, think of a ceiling fan and how it works. The air can blow one way all the time or waft around the room. The blades can go forward in the summer to cool things down, and they can be reversed to flow backwards in the winter to help keep the air warmer. So the only constant is change. And what else is constant is love, is happiness, is peace. All of those are the foundation of you, of your being. And let that sink in. This is your I am that I am. I once heard a very wise teacher from India give a talk, and someone asked him a question about being happy. And he said, don't just be happy, be happiness. Don't just be peaceful, be peace. Don't just be loving, be love. You are the essence of all of those, love, happiness, and peace. And in the course of things, even with our best intentions, we forget that we are God. We forget that we are the operant power. And then we stop and we breathe and settle and remind ourselves, I am that I am. Be still and know that I am God. That anything you put after I am is an expression of God within you. God as you. So how does that play back into being right? Well, occasionally when you're right, it's cool. You feel like score. But if you hang with that too much, that is really just your ego validating itself. It becomes a boundary. I'm going to be right anyway, so don't mess with my success. Now, in law of assumption manifesting, when you allow your state to lead you, because what you imagine precedes what you experience, and part of that is the state that you've chosen. So when you allow your state to lead, you relax within that state as you have the various experiences it brings to you on the way to receiving your desire. So it means that you have nothing to prove. This is actually a form of major league manifesting, is having nothing to prove. And that is something else to sink in. If a lot of what you feel is that you're always having to prove your position, prove what is significant to you, that that is something you can let go of, because your state is self-explanatory when you inhabit it 100%. And this is especially important on relationships. A lot of times we see relationships where one partner is always about being right and establishing that being right as their beachhead. And what happens is the other partner always feels wrong, humiliated, or even shut down, or belittled, controlled, and frustrated. Now, maybe you've been on the receiving end of that and you know what that feeling is. And maybe it didn't matter if you felt that they wanted to be right. Well, okay, as long as you leave me alone. But why have to live under that kind of barricade? This is the challenge, is opening up to what you truly are, that love, that peace, that happiness, regardless of circumstances, which is greater than any of those other feelings. Those are all on the negative side of the scale. So in order to get past that, you want to feel that you are the essence of all of happiness, love, and peace. So what does that mean in terms of manifesting? Is that you can imagine lovingly for the partner who is being difficult with having to always be right. And a lot of times people do that because for some reason they just don't feel they're heard. So it's easier to just always feel that they are right. But it's a chance for them, in imagining lovingly for them, to know, to make them feel that they've been heard and appreciated. And watch what starts to happen when that is the case, and notice too the change in how you feel. Because if you are a person who tends to be the one who wants to be right, what happens is that you may be ignoring the other person, ignoring their feelings. And if that's so, you're ignoring a part of yourself. Because why? EIYPO, as Neville taught, everyone is you pushed out, reflecting an aspect of yourself, either as a mirror or as a catalyst to shift into a more ideal state. Because having a fixed idea of what's right and making that into a soapbox can be what actually becomes the obstacle or the barrier between you and your desire. Except that instead, when things don't work out the way you want, it may get blamed on the other person, on the situation. And that also creates more obstacles in the long run. The only constant, even beyond that is love, that is peace, that is happening, is I am, the God presence in you. Now, stay with me for a little more here. What about when a teacher or mentor in a group and people say, oh, listen to them because they're always right? And to me, that means that they are really guiding you to move in the right direction. In Eastern philosophy, that's called dharma, and it means the right path of action, the right discernment, the right movement, or standing firmly and lovingly, standing fast as opposed to hiding or running from situation. So being right can also mean they can help you to right yourself, to stand taller and stronger and become the divine in you, and allow the divine in you to move through you to help you stand firmly again in the truth, the inner truth of who you are, not the apparent truth of what is in the 3D. And even there, being proud of how spiritually correct you are is another pitfall. In the early years of being on a path of meditation and other spiritual practices, yeah, I felt a lot of that, how cool it was to be spiritual or cool it was to practice certain other parts of the lifestyle. But that just creates a holier than thou quality. And it can also be another form of judging other people. And you want to not go in that direction because you're working within yourself to embody love. And there's no judgmentalism in love. Again, that relates to being right. So anytime I made being right more important than being happy in my life, there would be some kind of repercussion later. And that's why in the end, the emphasis is always on being aware of the love that is yourself and offering that love to every situation and relationship that you encounter. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and like, subscribe, and share. Love you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.